People. So this is video like I'm gonna say sixth, seventh, or eighth video I've done for the same book review because I am a babbler. And if you know me, you know I kind of say a lot of words to say nothing at all. And so in the previous takes, I'm either going off on a tangent, not really saying anything, or I'm not saying what needs to be said. And then get this, my computer says you had too much space, or not enough space rather, and it cut my last video off. Look at that, and I was doing great. It was like a minute and 30 seconds of awesomeness. Then was 41 seconds of nonsense. Me explaining how my computer is giving me butt to kiss always. But anyway, I did not come to talk about that. I came to talk about I Can't Make This Up: Life Lessons by Kevin Hart. I read this book uh, not in record timing because I am taking a computer course in summer. That's wrong. Don't do that. It's too accelerated. And don't take a computer course online, which is a computer course on a computer. That's wrong as well. Don't do it. Um, so it took me about 2 weeks to get this book done. But also, it's 1,000 chapters. And by 1,000, I mean 100 chapters. But every chapter is like really thin, like maybe like 2, 3 pages, and then there's the next chapter. So even though it's 100 chapters, it's not that bad. It's not that long of a read. When I read, not read, when I skimmed through it to see how many chapters it was, and it was 100, I was like, Kevin, what are you doing? But it's actually worth it because the way it's broken down, you know, by the chapters kind of what kind of is going to happen and what makes sense. So it gives you everything you can think of from the time he is probably born until maybe a little bit from where he is now. And you think about how long it takes to have a book come out is probably like a year less than where he is now. So another thing I like about the titles and how they themselves ramble on with nonsense that we are used to Kevin giving us is I like that he gave a real description of everyone in his life without making them the villain. It's very hard to give a real account of somebody's childhood that was rough or relationships that were rough and not say this or that person and put them in a negative light. Like he didn't play the blame game in this book, and I really enjoyed that. He didn't blame his father for anything, didn't blame his mother for anything, didn't blame his first ex-wife for anything, and I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that because it's hard to do. It's hard to, uh, like I said, have a conversation and not put blame or villainize other people, and he did a great job in that. When he started talking about the ex-wife, I got a little nervous. I thought like, oh, please don't say anything that's not in the light that we're used to Kevin Hart being in, and he didn't. Everything is hilarious. Everything that even the serious parts are still Kevin Hart kind of funny, and I like that a lot. He talks about losing his virginity. He talks about just graduating high school and not having a clear plan of what he wanted to do. He actually gives people props. The people who have brought him to comedy, whether they knew it or not, they created him. And he gives them props, and I like that a lot. Sometimes in books and even in interviews, you hear people give themselves more props than anything. Like I'm so awesome, and this is how it went, and then I became who I am today. And he kind of doesn't do that. He kind of gives props to his father for being crazy and kind of thinking that obviously his dad and his problems with his dad gave him a funny outlook on life. He gives props to his mother, of course, who raised him and sheltered him, and that thus gave him a clear sense of how to behave and how to hustle hard because his mom was a hustler, as far as she did everything she had to do and as a parent, and she worked very hard to get where she was and working at University of Penn. So that's awesome. He also talks about his comedy mentors, definitely great people he has spoken. Some people you kind of know from name, and some people you kind of don't. And I think that's nice to give the people who have put you on the road a big up, and not just kind of brush over what they were to you. Um, so I think he gives you a different view on what you may have thought uh, is fame. And to me, you're famous when you're in one movie that is hood famous, like Paper Soldiers. And it talks about how Paper Soldiers did not make any big noise as far as in Hollywood, but it definitely made him hood famous. But he still had a lot of work to do to become the household name Kevin Hart he is today. And that's invaluable that he puts it to you real, like it really happened, and didn't take Paper Soldiers as his end and just sit down. Didn't take Soul Plane as his end and sit down. And also, if you notice, he is still running on the same fumes that he did before he's famous, because he had the Two Kids movies and Cruel Intentions, not Cruel Intentions, sorry, um, the movie with Kevin, not Kevin, The Rock. The Rock came out all at the same time, as well as I think he's, if I'm not mistaken, in another movie right now, besides the kid movie that is out. I haven't seen it yet clearly because I don't know what the name of the movie is, but I'm enjoying Kevin Hart. I'm enjoying my fellow Philadelphian, and I am so happy to kind of say we come from the same place, and this gives me clear hope on what hustling and struggle can do for a person. In this book, he talks very real about his father's addiction and things that were not funny, not hee hee ha ha. And um, that took a lot. That took a lot, I'm sure. If you know anybody who's had an addiction, or know a child whose parent is addicted, there are a lot of things that may sound funny to others, but aren't so funny when you live it. So thank you to Kevin Hart for putting that out there, letting us in his life, and showing people who may not see people that are like them succeed. And I think as other books I've read, Steve Harvey's books, Charlemagne's book, we kind of need to see these books and see these people in the light that they are, because sometimes, or more times than not, our people are silenced or told that you're not this, you're not that, you're not going to make it anywhere, especially not in the avenues that they made it. So shows us that there is more to being African American, or just African in general, than to just falling by the wayside. That you can make it in certain places, in inner cities, in the hood, in the dirtiest part of Philly, and still come out strong and come out happy and come out successful, and still have your morals. Because in this, you don't really hear. Sometimes you hear people's backstory, and it's a lot of drug addiction and a lot of times where you're like, wow, that's so horrible. And it's their life, and it is true, and it's their life to tell. And I'm not saying anything is wrong with that, but I am saying that Kevin Hart uh, wasn't the worst of the worst stories I've heard. But I am proud of the story he's told, and I'm so happy that it is told in what I deem as truth. And so I think you should read this book. I went back and forth with myself on if I should read pieces to you like I sometimes do, but I didn't read pieces to you because I feel like that's a little bit of a spoiler alert in this book. So some books you can kind of give somebody like a but they don't really see the full picture. And this book you kind of can't. If I give you anything, you'll kind of see more than you should. So I'll let you read this on your own and let me know what you think. Because when I started this channel, I was thinking more of like a book club virtually. Like you leave me comments, we talk about different books, you let me know what you think. I might give a book a good review, you might not like that book. Let me know all these things in the comments. Also, I would like you to like my videos, this one and previous ones, and I would like you to subscribe. So You can do 3 things for me. If you could comment, like, and subscribe, I would definitely appreciate that. And thank you to anybody who has already done any of the above. I am so grateful for you. So pick up Kevin Hart's I Can't Make This Up Life Lessons. Please subscribe to my video. Please like my videos. Please comment any comments you care to comment on any videos you care to comment on. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is just Jazz.